What's going on, YouTube? This is Abnormal Truth. I was thinking about something today that I thought I would share with everyone. Um, I was working in a gas station in Houston, Texas. This was early 2000s. I'm not exactly sure what year it was, 2002, 2003. I know around that time, it was when he started seeing some troops come home. I remember seeing a couple of times while working in this shell station that I would see somebody, a soldier in fatigues with like a big duffel bag. Everybody was like, "Welcome back home. Thank you for your service." So it was around that time. I could probably narrow it down if I did some research there, but it was early 2000s, certainly before 2005, probably. So early 2000s. Um, and I've always been the kind of person that, if I think somebody can tell me a wild account, I want to hear it. Well, like I said, about that time, this was when some troops were starting to come home, and this guy came in. He wasn't in fatigues or anything. He had been back for a while, and I'm not exactly sure how it started, but he mentioned that he was a soldier, and he was like, "People don't understand, we're paid killers out there." And I was like, "Wow, yeah, I mean, And then he mentioned that. They were seeing things over there that the citizens in the states just didn't know, and that you know piqued my curiosity. And I said, like, what? Like, like killing of civilians? What are you talking about? And he said something to the effect of, well, you wouldn't believe me. And at this time, I was really curious, and I said, "Listen, I've been taken by aliens before, and I look into anything strange. If you could tell anybody on the planet and not be scoffed at, I would be that person." I wanted him to know exactly the kind of person I was in that way that he could tell me. Just tell me, bro. Try me. And what he said was that uh, some troops over there. I don't know if he said some troops over there or just one patrol unit or whatever. We're seeing giants over there, and I was totally unprepared for him saying that. I was thinking all kinds of. I was thinking more along the lines of something normal, not abnormal. And that totally blew my mind. But I do remember I said that's biblical because even though at the time I wasn't saved, I've still always knew the Bible had even at the time I knew that it had some truth to it. And I knew about giants. I've always been fascinated by giants. I've always known that they used to roam the earth and still do. And I wish I could have said something to him. I didn't know where to put that. All I could say was that's after like a moment or two of silence. I said, "That's biblical." And he said, "Yeah, I know." And that's about all there is to that story. But what's weird is like a decade later, whenever L.A. Marzulli came out with the Giant of Kandahar story, uh, I was like, wow, so I just wanted to put this out there because there is some validity to that story. Before I had ever heard of troops seeing a giant and killing that giant, and in case you don't know, you can look this story up. The Giant of Kandahar, um, Kandahar, Kandahar. This is the area where this incident occurred. Long story short, You can go. I think L.A. Marzulli has a video on it, and he has some like drawings. He had somebody make some visuals of it. But this patrol unit was in this cave or at the mouth of a cave, um, and they kind of dispersed because they knew if they were ambushed, it wouldn't be good in the spot they were in. It was like the opening of this cave had a little lip there, 10, 15, 20 foot or something, but then after that there was a drop off. So it was a bad place to be ambushed in. So they were kind of ready. But all of a sudden, this they're not sure, something around a 12-foot tall, huge giant, maybe larger than that, came out. And long story short, they started firing at it, and it was getting hit, but it was still coming towards them. And the story goes that he had like a lance with him, and he impaled one of the soldiers. Another soldier told everybody to aim for the head, and they're well armed. And finally, they take this giant down, but not after it killing one of them. And they started, they took the giant down. The giant was reportedly taken away by a like a cargo helicopter. They had a net around it, took it up in the helicopter, and of course, all of the soldiers were told to never speak of it. Don't even write it down in the report or anything. So anyway, long that's just a Cliff Notes thing about this story of the Kandahar Giant, and I just felt like I should put this out there because it's amazing that I heard about that way before anybody was talking about it, and it gives some validity to me. I totally believe it. Now, this soldier that I was talking to did not see the giant. He was not he did not witness a giant, but rather everybody on the base was talking about it. So from what I gather, he may have been in the base that these other soldiers that actually went through this was in, or they were talking. It was rumors all over the base. So this is a rumor. So it doesn't prove just because I heard a soldier tell me this before it became like widely public on YouTube and so on. It still it, I know that this was a rumor. They were talking amongst each other about soldiers seeing giants. And from what I remember, it may have been more than one incident. But this guy, this soldier that was home, he told me, he said you guys aren't being told what we're seeing over there. Anyway, I thought this was just fascinating. I guess I was sitting around, have the day off, and I was thinking about stuff, and this came up, and I was like, man, I got to tell somebody about that because it kind of validates the story for me. And it was wild. Like 10 years later, maybe even 15. Well, I say 15. Yeah, 10, 12 years later, L.A. Marzulli has a story about it, and I was like, wow, because that's weird. Like early 2000s, I heard a soldier tell me this. And anyway, guys, I just thought I would share that. Very interesting story. Like I said, it is biblical. Uh, Giants, I believe, are still on the earth, living in the underground portions of the planet that we live on, and it's just fascinating. And I thought maybe I should put it out there just to let it be known that I heard this rumor in the early 2000s. So to me, it gives it a lot of validity. What do you guys think about it? Comment if you have any thoughts on it. Comment down below. Like and subscribe. I am going to start doing more videos If you have an awesome encounter about anything abnormal, or you're a researcher or channel owner, content creator that wants to just have a chat, make some videos, email me at theabnormaltruth@gmail.com. I would like to start doing interviews, conversations. I am not stuck to one topic. I'm a generalist, and I like to talk about anything abnormal that isn't supposed to happen. And yeah, so give me an email if you feel like you want to talk. And like I said, I'll be making some more videos whenever I can get around to them. And I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time.